Hey, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. As always, it is Nick here, back with your daily crypto news and analysis. And today we're going to be talking about Hedera and Hbar. So let's just dive in and let's start off with, of course, the biggest one. So recently we did see a major outage on Hedera's mirror node. We will definitely be addressing this, talking about it. I don't know if they fixed this. We didn't really see any new updates from them. I would assume that it is fixed now. We will get into that and talk more about it, but we do see Hedera Mirror Node is experiencing issues processing transactions, but the mainnet and its services are fully operational. Core engineers have identified the issue and are deploying a fix. Historical transactions will be backfilled to prevent data loss. Now, at first, a lot of people thought that this was very similar to what was happening with like Solana or any other major outage that we have seen in this market. This is completely different because remember, the mainnet is still up. It's just that its services or not its services, the actual mirror node itself that is processing transactions, there's a few projects that do run on that. So those projects were having a little bit of a rough time, staying up and running. It wasn't a full mainnet outage like we have seen on Solana, just to give you guys a quick insight on that, but we do have some information on how these mirror nodes do work, as you guys do see. So you guys have the full on breakdown of this, and it really kind of breaks everything down. And then over here, in terms of the Hbar Foundation, they give us a little bit more of an in-depth view on this. So we do see, as some may have noticed, an issue with the Hedera public mirror node is causing some problems in the ecosystem. While the mainnet is functioning properly, many apps leverage the public mirror node. Thus, the outage impacts these apps. Track updates here. And here you guys have the full-on outage. We actually have the status page open over here. So as you guys do see, everything is good on the mainnet. There was zero downtime or anything like that. It's all 100% uptime. There is an outage, a partial outage, actually on a Chainlink Labs node, which I thought was interesting. But down here, we actually do see a few things happening. We do have a little bit of a downtime going back to August 8th. This is on the Hedera preview net. Don't know what the case was with that, but here we have the mirror node outage itself. So resolved. So it got fully resolved. Hedera Core Engineering has confirmed that the mirror node is now functional. Mainnet transactions which occurred during the period of the mirror node downtime are now queryable. Mirror node operators are advised to upgrade to version v0.66.4, and they do talk about the entire outage here. So again, a lot of people were taking this out of context. They were comparing it to Solana. I thought that that was actually funny because it's nowhere near the impact of a Solana outage. I see a lot of people actually talking about Java here. It's interesting, but I mean, like this running with Java is nothing too crazy. I mean, like Java still is a big deal, but nonetheless, when we actually look at the mirror node itself, this was not substantial in itself. It still is something to look into, but it looks like it has been fixed. Did we see a price difference when we did see that happen? Not really. I mean, honestly, we're still trading within this range. Just to give you guys a little bit more of an in-depth view on that, here you guys have the 3-month span. Just sideways momentum, nothing too crazy. Honestly, it's still in a very bearish formation. I would be looking into buying Hbar here shortly once we do see a little bit more of a in-depth view on what Bitcoin is going to do. Also, remember, November 1st and 2nd are coming very fast, and that is with the FOMC meetings. We will see, rate hikes, stuff like that, all being discussed. That's when you really want to look into this market and really kind of look into what is happening around some of these assets, because right now I have taken a step back from buying anything. My main target right now is QNT, and I'm waiting to see if we actually drop down much lower than anyone's really anticipating on this token. Again, a lot of people will say that it's FUD, but I've been looking into some low pricing on some of these tokens. And Hbar has been pretty low. It didn't really get a major jump out similar to other altcoins like Casper started to break out. QNT broke out. There's a few other ones. Even XRP did very well, but Hbar did not really break out much at all, especially in the 3-month span. You can see like it has not done anything special in well over a year, which is interesting. So this thing is still very undervalued. Sideways momentum, coiling up. we have to wait to see what's going to be the next major move on this token. But with all of that in mind, as we do look into a few things, we recently seen another DeFi gem, Bubble Swap, launch a little bit. We do see a few things happening from Bubble Swap over here. Hbarbarians Day 1 of our USDC Hbar reward program, which just launched, just ended with a TVL of $900,000 and an insane 547% APY, making our USDC/Hbar pool the most profitable trading pair on Hedera by far. And I think that this is great. You know, as more and more DeFi gems launch like this is great, and we actually do see a few people saying, you know, there's no way to withdraw this liquidity, enter a negative amount to remove liquidity, for anybody that was wondering on that. But yeah, they break this fully down. I haven't been looking into a lot of these DeFi gems. This seems like a very early on project, so be cautious if you are looking into this. But I have been watching a few of the other DeFi gems on Hedera kind of grow out, like Saucer Swap and Stater. They've been doing very well. Also, I think that they just launched another one. There's been so much happening within the DeFi space on Hedera, but also so many events happening. It really is hard to keep up with everything going on within Hedera. It truly is something special. And it's funny because, again, as we do see all of these major updates being pushed, we're still seeing you know, the price action stay silent. There's not much noise being made in the price action area, which I think at some point in time we will see a major update within that area. It's just going to take a little bit of time. But with all of that, I've also been looking at a few other things. You know, more so the project growth area on Hedera. So over here, we do see we've deployed over $360 million across 175 projects. We're doing the right things. We're going to see massive success in this network as we come out of crypto winter. And again, I do agree with this. By the way, this was an interview with Shane Higdon over on Thinking Crypto 1. Shout out to Danny Ide for this. But yeah, I think that the ecosystem on Hedera, you know, as we're still seeing a ton of expansion, right? The biggest thing that I always focus on, if price action does suck on tokens, like Hbar's price action, I'm just going to be upfront with you guys, is terrible. This has been one of the worst performing assets within the space. And no, that's not me being way over dramatic or anything like that. No, this has been one of the worst performing assets in general. I mean, if you got in during 2020, then yeah, this did a great move. It did like a 50x opportunity run, which is not bad at all. But most people did not get in back here. In fact, not even myself got in back there. I got in during January of 2021. It was at around like 4 cents or so. We are basically back to those levels. And in fact, if we go off of the low in the 1 year span, we could see that the lowest point was about 5.5 cents, almost 5.6. So we were nearing my entry points going all the way back to January of 2021. And again, even going off of the all-time high, we did not even 10x basically. I mean, like I think it was maybe like an 11x. So we did 10x, but not on all the buys. We were still buying at around 5 cents, at around 6 cents. So we did not get the perfect entry on this. I was actually expecting a lot higher price action. Do I think that we will see that in the future? Sure, but this has been a very bad performer. So what we actually want to look at to see if there is going to be a lot more value here is TVL, which TVL has been doing very well. In the market report, there has been, which we just recently covered, the Q3, I believe that the market report was. There has been like over $100 million in TVL on Hedera, which, by the way, here you guys have that full breakdown. They did like a full-on breakdown from Mazari, which I think is great. So TVL was sitting at $100 million, 171% of an increase, which we did talk about. So TVL has been doing very well. The ecosystem expanding rapidly. We are seeing a lot of deployment of money into the projects that are going to be launching out on the ecosystem. So when we talk about this and we look at this, I don't believe that this is marketing and trying to get people to buy into Hbar where they're saying, you know, it's going to be a massive success in the network as we do come out of crypto winter. I actually think that they will. Because remember, when you actually look at what's happening, their newest GC member, for an example, Aberdeen, right, which we did talk about slightly. This is a huge giant that is focused on Hedera as a key part of the puzzle for their future of finance. They hope to incorporate DLT into their existing business, help Hedera find new use cases in financial services, and to begin tokenizing and fractionalizing bonds, which shout out to Barbarian for this. But when we actually look at this, right, like, they are working with some of the highest class companies in the financial sector. Although Hedera's price action has been completely trash, I also think that the reason for that being is during 2021, when we were running, they hyperinflated the token. What do I mean by that? Tokenomics were bad. I mean, like, we've seen 14 billion tokens released in one singular year. That's terrible tokenomics, one. Two, Hedera has always been looked at as a centralized token. The GC members are all high-tier companies that are centralized entities. Google, Boeing, IBM. These are companies that people look at and they're like, all right, yeah, this is just a boring enterprise token. Nobody cares about this. But on the face value, it looks like that. But behind the scenes, Hedera is actually morphing into a Web3 giant that is providing a ton of value to some of these high-class targets like Aberdeen. And for an example, we broke down, well, I should say Aberdeen. We broke down this company. I mean, like, this is a huge company, over 500 billion pounds in assets under management, which is insane. But we do see, like, welcome to Aberdeen. We do see individual, intermediary, and even institutional investment funds and all that kind of stuff. They are working with some of the highest class individuals out there as well. I don't know if there is. I think it was maybe on. I seen a spreadsheet that was breaking down some of the connections that this company has. I think maybe it was in their about section. I don't know. But I did a little bit of a breakdown in a video recently on this company when we first seen this announced. And yeah, we have 5,000 employees globally. We have 800 investment professionals across 30 locations. We manage and administer 508 billion pounds of assets for clients as of June of 2022. So this is insane. Like, and they're focused on sustainability, which is most likely going to be achieved through Hedera. Like, this is an absolute giant. And again, these are the types of companies that Hedera is focused on. And we do see some of the key points over here. You know, they are a UK asset management firm currently holding over 508 billion pounds AUM. Today, many investment opportunities such as bonds and real estate funds are difficult to pursue for most due to high barriers of cost, liquidity, and complexity, which again, real estate has always been my focus point on this channel in terms of Hedera, because tokenization of real estate is a huge opportunity for a lot of these tokens. I mean, it's a $300 trillion market that a lot of these tokens could eat from. It's huge. And we do see by utilizing Hedera, Aberdeen aims to tokenize investment opportunities to make traditionally barriered assets more available to individual investors. Like, this is a huge opportunity. And again, Hedera being the name that they are, I believe that long term we will see a lot more success from this token. I think that recently the price action, sure, it has been, not the greatest, but fundamentally everything happening behind the scenes, if you ignore the price action, we should see exponential growth of the token price. And I think that when we even go back in time and we look at the ecosystem chart here, this goes all the way back to 2021, we've seen massive growth of this alone. I wish that there was a full-on updated view of this. I mean, the only one that we really have is just like the GC list that we have on their website. But I want to see the full-on breakdown of all of this and see how much we have expanded in just like 1 year alone. Because although, yes, the tokenomics were absolute trash for the 1 year alone, they released way more tokens than anyone that was talking about Hedera could have expected. I mean, it really kind of took me by surprise as well because it came at such a weird time. But what we did see, and what we didn't expect as well, is how fast they have grown in one singular year as well. Do I think that Hedera is going to perform very well going into the next major cycle? I do believe so. With the TVL, with everything happening, I do think that this coming out of crypto winter is going to be, it's going to be a token that you're going to want to watch for sure. So with that being said, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys did, definitely leave a like, subscribe to notifications on. If you guys want more free content, you guys are more than welcome to follow me on Twitter and join the free Discord down in the description below. As always, I hope that you all have a beautiful day, beautiful night, wherever you guys are in this beautiful world. It's been Nick. Peace out, guys.